The Ashendene Press was one of the so-called Triple Crown of private presses that stood at the pinnacle of the British private press revival around the turn of the 20th century. Here I'll be looking at the 1921 Ashendene edition of VITA di Santa Chiara VIRGINE, limited to 236 copies on paper and 10 on vellum. The book reproduces a manuscript of 1496 that was in the private collection of the press's proprietor, C.H. St. John Hornby. The book is bound in white limp vellum in the fashion established by the Kelmscott Press, with green silk ties to secure the volume shut. These ties often become a bit ratty with time, and I'd rather they weren't there. The only other significant exterior embellishment is the abbreviated gilt-tooled title on the spine. We have a trimmed top edge while the bottom and fore edges have a natural decal. After the front blanks, we are presented with an austere title page printed in a typeface called Sabaccio that was proprietary to the Ashendene Press and has become synonymous with its output. This type was based on the half-Roman face used by Arnold Panarts and Conrad Swinheim. The black letter origins of the face make it less legible than a modern Roman face, but this is made up for by its novelty and density on the page, making the Ashendene books printed in Sabaccio look quite striking and distinctive. Another distinctive feature of many Ashendene books, including this one, is the inclusion of large drop capitals in red and blue ink, designed by Grayley Hewitt. These colour initials are further complemented in this edition by red Sabaccio marginal notes, red capitulum paragraph markers, and occasional red inline text. All typographic embellishments that help to make this a visually interesting book, and a nice example of the typographic design from which the press got its reputation for a beautiful page. Substantively, the book opens with an introduction by scholar Walter W. Sutton, who also provided the marginal notes and detailed notes at the end of the book. Sutton's text provides some historical background on the Franciscan order and St. Clare's role in it, as well as of the composition of the manuscript by Ugolino Barino. Before we reach the text of the manuscript itself, we are presented with something a little unusual for this type of early private press book: a collar-type facsimile of the first 4 pages of the original manuscript. It is interesting to compare this facsimile to the printed text of the book proper. The manuscript itself is reproduced in the original Italian, which I don't read, meaning I've broken my usual rule of reading a book in its entirety before reviewing it here. The book ends with a note on its production and the limitation. Overall, this is a niche edition that won't be for everybody. The subject matter is a little esoteric, the text accessible only to readers of Italian, and the physical makeup of the book a little crude compared to a good modern fine press edition. But I personally feel quite privileged to be the custodian of this piece of printing history, and there's no escaping the pleasure of looking at its beautifully set pages and gazing back into the august foundations of the private press movement.